Hello, Collective. I'm MJ, and I am your Atlas to Life. I'm an intuitive tarot card reader, and I channel my messages with my tarot cards as the medium. Today's the 18th of September, but this message is timeless, and it's for any of you chosen ones whenever it finds you. And your spirit guides lead you to this message. You are meant to hear it right now. For this reading, I've pulled two very specific piles. The first pile is our pile, the leaders of the pack, the ones already doing our jobs and living out our life purposes, healing the world with our love and paving the way for the others. And then the second pile was chosen for the newbies in this great awakening into one love. And it's for those resistant cavemen too, the people who aren't admitting it yet. So the second pile, it's going to guide us on how to best help them as they begin their ascension. Or if they've already started, it'll guide us in how we can help them as they continue to climb the ladder into full enlightenment and open up to their higher calling and consciousness. So hit like and subscribe to my channel with notifications, and grab yourself some healthy refreshments, maybe some fresh fruit or vegetables and a kombucha tea, and we'll go ahead and get started presently. So the first thing I need you to do is take a deep breath in for me and hold it for a few until you release it. And when you let go of this air, let go of any negative energies trying to penetrate your being. Just let them out and get yourself into receptive mode, into this here and now present moment. Deep breath again. And this time focus on your chakras from the bottom or the root all the way up through the crown and beyond. Let in the cleansing white, golden light. Allow your third eye to open as you give your spirit guides permission to hear this message. The guidance specifically meant for you, contained within this intuitive source-guided tarot card reading. This is for the selected, chosen members of the collective who have been drawn to this video with divine, universal force. And as I tell you what is being given to me for you through my tarot cards, continue to focus on your breath until the end. Listen to the insects and the nature around me, their frequencies. To get a personal reading or information about them, my email address is em3dj3@gmail.com, or you can just contact me on any of the social media sites below. And if this reading helps you and touches your heart, as it is intended to do, then please show me some love. Support my cause. I am em3dj3 on PayPal as well. But for now, in this moment, silence your devices and just listen to the pleasant, healing frequency and sound of my voice. Pile number 1. The first card we have is Judgment. Judgment Day is now, 2020. The major arcana is the timeline of the massive ascension. This card means that these us chosen collective workers that are already living out our life purposes, we are answering the call. And we heard that trumpet, and we're ready to help heal this world for the survival of all. Next comes the Hierophant. And here, intuitively, it tells me that this tradition, there's a new tradition, there's a new conformity that we are part of, and it's going to be based on morality and ethics. Whereas in the past, dominion was at play. The people like us who had these special gifts and were open to our new senses and free thinkers and everything that it entails to be a light worker, were suffering under the dominion of the old ways. And that's no longer the case. Now they're the ones who want to join in, because we are beginning to grow in numbers and dominate over them because of this Hierophant. So we have this religious authority and, spiritual assistance. And they're not bowing down to us, but they're listening. We are their mentors and teachers because we have hope. We know that there is hope. We haven't given up hope. We have faith in our cause, and all of these rejuvenations within ourselves and through them are very necessary and worth the cause. The universe comes next here. And to look at this card, I see the cleansing waters around the outside and the universal forces that are at play within all of us. We are being given the information that we need when we need it, to use it to help cleanse and heal the world. Because we've done the work. All of this knowledge and information, we've come to terms with it. We've learned how to understand it and use it. And so we're very balanced. We're basically untouchable, even by this devil. The devil, he cannot tempt us anymore. Whereas we may have lived in excess before or been materialistic, none of that stuff affects us these days. We can just go through our lives and playfully giggle that stuff off. Love comes next. And today I'm being drawn over and over to this symbol right here as representation of us. And there's infinity on this card as well. And this love card is the Two of Cups, and the healing waters are flowing out of this lotus flower and into the cups below. We're healing the world with our love. And we've worked very hard to get where we are today. And we are clinging to all of our areas of specialty, above and below, and especially this heart chakra. These tools, the resources we need to help others. This is followed by the Empress. If you listen really closely, there's some coyotes out back here, and they were really loud last night. It's beautiful. Hey, and this is a perfect example of how we are at one with nature and more comfortable there almost even. And it's funny because this card is about fertility and, motherhood. And I think they had babies or something. It was beautiful. But it also it reminds me that the world and all of these people going through these changes, they need to be nurtured, and they need a mother. The world needs a mother right now. This one's followed up with this 2 of discs, which is change. And if you look at the dark and then the light, we are good at balancing these dualities. And see the little crown on top? It's because we're chosen, we're definitely authorities. People are coming to us for advice and help, and sometimes they don't even say it like that, but just being in our presence is really making them a lot happier, and they're questioning why we are living so free in these trying times with all this change going on. But just like the beginning, Judgment Day is here. It's upon us. Us chosen ones, we took the call. And we understand that 2021 is the completion. It's the world, it's the universe. And so it took us 20 years to get to where we're at. And they have to do it a lot faster than us, the others. We really are glad to be doing our part. And we've passed the tests from the universe and whichever religion, the Judgment Day. So this is why you're a chosen one. And here I have the 7, which 7s are a lucky card, of swords. And swords is that knowledge. It's that the knowledge that you've really fully utilized and understand that you can use. And this card's about past, present, and the future. So I feel like what we've earned in the past and, are using presently, I get a strong sense here that this also refers to us understanding some things about the future that, like, our human brain can't talk about, but, like, we know what's coming in the future. So, the psychic stuff, and we can be crafty and use these tools to utilize in ways that will help everybody as a whole through this day and age, this now, because it's forever now, which is a pretty neat concept. And just, spending time with us and learning by example, they're seeing us. We're so innocent, and we take on each new beginning without fear. We have this free spirit, and they want that too. This 3 of Cups is the abundance that's available to them, and I get a spiritual sense here through our presence and healing capabilities in all the different forms and ways that we heal the world. They are going to grasp at and go forth towards the spiritual abundance that is available to them as well. And this 3 of Wands means that we're just exposing this, and they desire what we have. And today, in this day and age, you can be on this side of the water and spread it forth out into the world. We have technology available to us, and what they desire can be theirs too. It's honestly a card that makes me feel like we're going to find the connections with people everywhere in this world, not just down the street, so that we can really use our gifts to their fullest. And we get Judgment again. So this here is about the reflecting. So that's that past stuff. We've been doing this for years, and they're about to start having intense breakthroughs when they're reflecting over the course of their life and going through this reckoning as well. And the ones who are awake, we have the wings, we have the trumpet, to, in a very positive way, to the best of our ability, we can heal them with our technologies and our information and tell them everything's going to be okay because of the science. So this is the 6 of Swords here, and this is us and all of our knowledge meeting in the middle in this deck, there's a cross there. So it's that universal spiritual stuff. And it's for that good cause. This card's called Science. I get a lot of light codes when I look here, just as all of us do, out here in the beauty of nature. Gorgeous day. A little chilly, but not used to that. Temperance is just a reminder to balance the excessive. Don't push the stuff on them too much, because they'll get it when it comes to them. But use this guidance. It's this healing guidance, angels, and you have the light within you and the ability to analyze these situations, and you can tell, being a chosen one, what they're ready for and what they're not ready for yet. Well, and you'll be guided. Gabriel, so the Magician comes next. So this wand of creation, as a collective, as a whole, we are using it to get our desires. We're manifesting and pulling this willpower out of them so that they can follow suit and get the comfort that we experience too. Victory comes next. This is the Six of Wands, of desires. This card is balancing out that too much flame, too much wishing, too much wanting and all that. So the wands at our disposal, we have a way within ourselves at this point where we can explain to them, yes, it's okay to want this, yes, it's okay to want that, but it doesn't just come overnight. It takes a very long time to fully come to terms with the changes before you're ready and deserve to manifest certain aspects. And this Five of Pentacles here, it shows me that there's many among us that still don't see the light surrounding them, everywhere around them, and they're still fighting it. So we are able to enlighten them with the positive aspects and help them have, higher energy, and show them that salvation is still a possibility. It's not as scary as we think, because of this inevitable fate here with the Wheel of Fortune card and the changes that they're going through in these new cycles. They need us to guide them, because we've already been there, and of course they're still dancing around like this Death card and questioning everything, and they still think they can control the worlds around them, or that they need to. And it's our job to show them by example, again, that they can just be happy with anything around them, because this Empress, with her fertile gown and her harvest coming, and that one's, today for us, the collective chosen ones here, we are at one with nature and the universal forces, and we get to direct where the growth and manifestation will be occurring. That's the Mama. And then the Emperor comes next for this. It's balanced out there, because we have to have that authority from above. It's with us and within us, because we're part of the one love and the flow. With that Empress card and this authority, our daddy's hugging us. the universe, and he's going to, keep that structure, and that he's going to do the control part, or they, will be taking care of that fatherhood side for us to keep us safe and secure as well. And this 10 of Wands is showing me they're the wands in the background. So they're still being oppressed. They're still, clinging to some things internally that are harmful to them. But look at us shine out there in the front. And, firmly display to them how too much fire is too much fire sometimes. And how to use that. Oh, so pretty. Okay, the Hermit card, this is a card that many people will say, this card means you need to go within. That's not the case for us anymore. We're always within. We're always without. As a chosen member of the collective who's living their purpose now. And this card, when I see it, it says to me today, now's the time to shine that light onto the others. If you read the very end of the description, that's what it's talking about. We've already gone on our internal voyage and found the truth, and now we get to shine it out onto them. Because, death comes, and this one, it's because they are beginning to get rid of the things that no longer serve them. They're ending cycles repetitively, and so these new beginnings are happening, and this change, they need us there for love and support as they metamorphosize. And the Star card comes next. So she, in this card, is reminding me of when I look up into the sky and I see all those tiny little stars some of them are brighter than others, and some of them are clustered together, and it's just this intuition, this unconscious stuff. It's what they need is within us, and we are being dispersed throughout the universe but here in the world into just the right places to make all of our light bodies are a beautiful constellation that we just can't see with our human eyes. Being a chosen collective one means you've taken the time, and over you've balanced these two pentacles here. And that's why you've been chosen for the job. Because they must really like the sound of my voice. We've been here for like weeks, and the birds haven't been this loud, so they like my story. You're chosen for a reason, because you're going to get back up again and try. And we need you. And the Hermit comes again. And look at that. If you really look closely, that's the flow, that's the vortex around these. We're all connected here. This 9, the Hermit, comes next. And look at the stars in the sky like I was saying. So, and I like to look at this card and think of how and the sun, this light, it's coming into and shining in our auras, in our inner guidance, is leading us, because we can do the contemplations for ourselves. We can contemplate what others need, even if we don't have to always feel obliged to act on that. It's how we learn, and we've searched for the truth. We're always searching for the truth, and we understand the world around us at pretty much all times. Sometimes knowing is just half the battle. And when you do need to use that stuff, when the time is right, it'll come easily for you. This here is cruelty. This one's them. See the bloodshed? Each and every time they realize these things, this new knowledge, it's penetrating them, it's painful for them to change or to understand or to not fight it off based on their egos and what they think they see, because they're not mindful like we are of their environments. And so we are here to put the Band-Aid on for them each and every time and work through it with them. And as a collective worker, I feel the need to mention that we might do these things, and the people in our lives might be changing, and in the end, whether we change our surroundings or circumstances or circles of friends, not one moment of any of this was ever wasteful. But it is here, it is now, it is Judgment Day, and the next card is the world. So we are on the verge, and everybody's saying something's happening. They're right. It's so close. Now let's move on to them. To the newbies, and to the people still clinging to the past and having trouble adjusting. The first card for them is the Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups tells me that these new feelings, these new senses that they're being awakening within them, that they're toying with, they're bringing them lots of joy, and they want to celebrate and experience them. But this is 9, this is not 10. So they're there, but they just need a little more practice. And here we have them raising their hand up, their willpower into the air and saying, pick me, I want to be part of the collective too. So it's our job to direct and guide them, exert that control in areas where us tried and true remain the firm foundations. We don't want them popping in here trying to get stuff for the wrong reasons, because they're not quite there yet. We have this duality card in the other decks. This art in this deck, but it's the Temperance card basically. So they have a lot of good in them, and they have a lot of evil in them, and we're here to help balance that out a little bit, because they still have a long ways to go. And the moon's basically the same here. We need to keep them in the middle here. This is us, our spiritual guidance and assistance from the universe, and we have to sort of remind them they have to go all the way down that path first. Don't jump the gun. Temperance falls next, and she is taking the middle path. What? That's like the same as the last 3 cards, kind of. And being very patient. Their inner voices are beginning to talk to them so much more. And they're finding meaning with everything. And this Ace of Cups is waves and waves of, these new feelings and new changes. And they have to experiment with them. We have to let them do it. Even if it's to their own demise at times. Because some of this stuff is very powerful. But that's how we learn too. It's like when you have teenagers and you don't want them to go try new things because you're afraid you'll lose them. But you don't lose them. They just have to toy with this stuff a little bit. And this cleansing, these new beginnings are, here's us, we're the light. We're still there to cleanse them. Walk them through it. So they don't drown, I guess, if it's waves. Alright, strength is next. This is infinite information, guidance, connection, source. We are their strength. See how she's controlling this? She's us. They need us. Because, next is strength again. And they're going to be jumping in and being very courageous and brave to get ahead. But it's us. We're the ones who have that focus, you know. We already have the inner strength that they seek. So as long as they stick with us, they'll get it too. This Ace of Discs makes me think of material stuff. It's new beginnings. And I do, right now, currently, feel a very strong sense that, how do you explain this? Many people are jumping on the bandwagon for the wrong reasons. Here they are thinking, with their material mind still, their egos haven't been quenched yet, and they think, ooh, I want to get in on this, you know, because I can get material things from it, or find a group of friends from it, or, and yes, it's about connection, but if you're somebody who is enlightened, as us chosen ones are, and we are past the judgment, we're already at 21, the world, the universe, the completion, it's not quite the same. We can be anywhere, and we remain contented and complete under any circumstances, even when it comes to suffering and things like that. They still cling to the olden stuff and buying things or using people or controlling people. Things like that is what brings them happiness. So, I mean, they understand the concepts and they want to be a part of it, and this is a beautiful thing, but they need our guidance until they're where we are. And they're fully enlightened as well. They're not fully ascended like us. And so they're still working through some things, and this card really shows that, well, it does. This knowledge, this information it's really harsh and far out to a mind that's just taking in it. It's a little overwhelming. It's keeping them up at night because they're still clinging to the old stuff. And that's okay. We were too at one point in time. And the moon card highlights that very well, because this card, it shows that, like, their, like, unconscious mind or their subconscious mind is giving them these messages and this information, but then they can feel with their intuition what's right. They can feel this now. They're not having to use their mind, or I guess it would be their egos trying to trick them and make them think that it's an illusion. And that's tough until you've done it 1,000 or 1,000,000 times to fully, you know, feel strong as yourself and living your purpose. The Fool is that comfort that we can share with them because of being fully at completion at the end of that major arcana, that 21, and being a chosen member of the collective. We can utilize each and every one of these, and we can help them be right where they need to be. And so they see us starting new things or letting go of stuff from the past, and it doesn't bother us. We're not worried. We have faith and trust in the universe, and this relaxes us and relaxes them to be around us, because they can just be more open-minded to what they really do need to know and learn, and it frees their spirit. This King of Pentacles, it really reinforces that materialistic stuff, I think. It shows that, ooh, this is a new thing I could be the king of, right? They might be thinking like that, you know? Or, I can do that better than them, but they can't. We're chosen. We've been doing this for a long time. They're not going to one-up us, because in the end, we're all going to be the same. And they're seeing all these resources, all these options, and this does show here that, there's guidance, spiritual and universal forces at play here. But they are going to have to try and toy with these two, all of these as well. So it's a 7, which is lucky, and sometimes before you can really pick your best attributes to utilize, you're going to try all the different things. That feel good. It's like what's just quite right. But justice will be done. And this clarity, they're just beginning to see more clearly with that third eye there, stuff happening. And so they're really learning from cause and effect, where they didn't really care about it before. They just did something else or bought something else or whatever it was that was making them happy. And that's not the way it works these days. Think about a court trial. At the end of it, when justice has been done for the good of all, the whole courtroom's happy. But the person who lost the thing that was important to them or their truth in the court trial, they're suffering. 8 of Cups here. In this sense, it shows that yes, there's much progress being made. You got overflowing here, but this one in the middle is a little more important. It's got more cups up here, and that's their niches. That's their 3 things. Potentially, there's many different ways to sort of look at that. Yes, they might be doing really well with some of the things that they're cleansing down here, but some of the important stuff is still left undone. And until they work through that stuff, it's not coming down through here to the bottom. So it's really our job. And I really cannot stress enough, it's more of a lead by example kind of thing. That's how we have to do this. Just show them how it worked for you. Here they are with the 5 of Cups. And so the 5 of Cups means they're still clinging to some of that stuff that their ego's just really not willing to get rid of. And that there's those 2 cups that were flowing in the last one that are upturned. So there's progress that has been made. But they're standing on this side saying, am I going to go over there? So it's almost like a hesitation. And they are struggling with making that giant leap, which is fine. It takes time. It took us a long time. So unconsciously, they're being given their, like inner voice. Here again, it's really changing. Their dialogue is what I'm trying to get at with this High Priestess. And so their subconscious and intuition, it's feeding them the information. There's little battles going on, but it's changing the dialogue of their voice within. But completion will be had. Here. We have it already. See, that's us. And they want in our circle. They want to be part of all that we have. They want to help. They want to heal too. Everybody's good inside. Deep down, when you take away all those human attributes. And we have justice again. So they're doing this contemplating. They're questioning the people around them, the environments around them, their internal thoughts and beliefs. And I'm not even kidding, like a bug. A little bug flew in my mouth. That's part of nature. But I'm not going to eat him. I don't want to kill him. And they're really balancing out. They're getting the knowledge. And, just working on balancing that all out inside and trying to figure out what they can live with and what they can't live without. And so it's still showing some clinging to some of the older patterns, which is going to bring them to this tower here. And each and every time they realize that they have to give something up or, incorporate something that's hard to live with because it's different, it brings sudden upheaval, and it really it breaks their pride. It seems like a disaster for them, but here we are with our infinite eye and this fate of the universe watching over them and just letting them know it's not as bad as they think, and this failure is not something that's lasting or standing. This failure here with these discs, it's I'm cold, just kind of shivering. This here, it's a 7, and 7s are lucky. So sometimes when bad things happen or when we lose material stuff, it's for our own benefit. And it has to go that way for us to progress, for them to progress. And we can explain these concepts to them and show them, I lost all this stuff way back when. Or I just changed my viewpoints and I found ways to, this is even better, and I didn't know it. Next we get the High Priestess here. So these dualities within, they've got all that good stuff, all that bad stuff, at opposite ends. And she is fertile. She's holding the scroll to all of our lives. And sometimes, she knows ahead of time what's good for us and what's not good for us, and why we have to almost be in stasis at points in time. Sometimes we do have to play the martyr, and that's never wasted time. If we make sacrifices, then it helps us release things later on. And it just, if you're in a place where it's uncomfortable, if they are, then it feels bad now, but later on when you're in a place where you're not uncomfortable, it feels so much better then. And you're grateful that you had to go through that. The moon comes next. It's about staying in that middle with our guidance on each side, because that's us here and us here. And we are the same as spirit guides. We are part of the flow. The universe is working and speaking through us. So that's what these are. And they're walking in the middle here with us, keeping them safe, making sure they're going in the right direction, because they need us. We love them. And even though many people who haven't gotten very far yet on their journeys, they're going through the dark night of the soul and all these things, they're bitter at times. Just keep them on the straight and narrow. Keep them on the right path. It's worth it in the end. This Page of Swords comes next. This is the strongest, sharpest mind in the tarot deck. And, that can be us, because we can use our experience and wisdom. Whip them back into place with that sword. Not really, but we know the goal. And the goal is that. It's the 10. It's Disneyland for everyone. It's our wildest dreams. And it's always been in cards. It's coming. This is a place where we feel completely content and loved and safe. And this one's lying right in the middle. This could mean that many of them are halfway there. Those lucky people. It took us so much longer than them. But they have our guidance. They get the sun. They get this joy. They can experience the success that we've worked so hard for. And it was for them anyways. The celebration, this positivity. There's new positivity in the air. For us, it feels so natural. For them, it's so new. They don't know what to do with it. They're not walking around being grumpy and mad anymore. Wow. It's a beautiful thing. 10 of Swords. And this deck talks about this ruin. And it kind of goes with what I was just saying, because they get overwhelmed. Oh my goodness, so much information. So many new understandings and so many things that they've struggled with their entire life. They're coming to terms with it, and it can be so overwhelming at times that then you have the 10. There's a lot of 10s here. That's all completion, so they're on the right track. This one is the wands. And so they're going to push forward like we did. Be persistent. It is worth it, and they're realizing this. They don't want to suffer that ruin. They're going to go it for the long haul, and many of them, that'll be the first time they've ever stuck with something or worked so hard on something in their entire life, because there was cop-outs and there was just go do something else or get a different job or move, before. And now it doesn't matter where you are, because you're, open to everything going on around you. And you have to push forth. There's no skipping out anymore. But then, this partnerships thing, some of these people are people who need other people. In the new age, you need yourself first and foremost. There's no substitute for your own peace of mind. And so these dualities, the union, they want to be part of us first, and they think that we're going to answer their problems for them, but it's not the case. They have to answer their own problems before they can be part of us and balance out their own dualities. This debauch here, it shows the green water, right? And that's our card. This one's us and not them. So at times I feel like they're going to be bitter with us and just think we're not, like, why wouldn't we just do it for them? Why can't I fix them inside? Right? It's because they have to do it themselves. But this is a 7 card. And being bitter with us or not understanding how we love so fully, and it's an internal thing, and we don't need the others in the same way, is them, they're seeing that in us, and then they're learning it too and incorporating it. It's good for each of us to be strong, and that's how we share. But you can't share with someone who's not open themselves in the same way. And this goes there too, because it's that 2 of the swords, that they have 2 internal belief systems, one from the past, one from the future, really, or the present. Right now, they're putting a blindfold on. They're saying, I don't want to pick, I don't want to choose. I'm going to, act like I'm picking that one, but I'm not picking either side. So they're going to be removing that blindfold. It's where it's headed. World's next. And this is that fulfillment. It's the harmony. This is completion. It's because of us that they get this. I'm so glad to do my part. And it's kind of, neat to watch the others begin to change too. It's beautiful, really. And I feel for them, because I remember going through that stuff, and it's hard. Internally, externally, it's confusing. But this is the prize. This is the result. We will not suffer defeat. No way. They won't either. That's the end. I choose this. We choose this. We help them get this. This one really makes me think of that Dark Knight stuff, that many people are pushing themselves too hard in certain areas that aren't, the collective chosen ones. And so just right now, whenever you watch this, I think that we need to keep in mind that there were many times we felt very defeated when we were going through all of our changes. So let's be compassionate, and let's just be there for them as they work through this stuff, because we're all getting here. It's inevitable, and it's beautiful. Okay, that's the end, guys. I do these readings with love for all of us, and I hope that you enjoyed listening. Thank you very much for your love and support. Thanks for liking and sharing and watching, subscribing, and checking out all my other stuff that I do, because I'm not just a tarot card reader. I have many other things that I do too that are very cool and interesting. and full of lots of love that might be helpful for you. Some of them are goofy and can get a little laugh, and others are, art and things like that. We have a sweet little perfect dog named Gamble. He likes to do tarot card readings with me, but he's taking a nap right now. So he didn't get to steal my show this time. I'm very thankful, as I said. I'm extremely grateful to be alive in 2020. I'm super excited for 2021, which is completion for us all. It's almost here. It's dawning. And we've worked so hard. I'm so excited. We're all blessed. Collectively, each and every one of us. Email for a personalized reading. em3, dj3@gmail.com. I can't wait to get to know you. Because I love you. So much love. Namaste, collective. Later.